YouTube is LMERicoTv, man. I'm back with another video. Now, this YouTube channel by the name of Chilling Scares uploaded a video titled Outdoor YouTubers Who Didn't Return Home. So you guys know what time it is. If you're brand new to the channel or you've been watching videos on the channel but not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button right now as y'all see me on the ground of 7K, and hopefully I hit that very soon. And also don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new videos. With that said though, man, we're gonna go ahead and get this video started right now.
Storm de Buell was a 22-year-old Belgian YouTuber known for sharing his adventures across Northern Europe. He never spoke in any of his videos.
Also, before we even fully get started, let me know, have y'all ever camped outdoors? I haven't really personally. The most I did was Lake Pleasant. For those of y'all that know where Arizona is, know where this lake is, but that's the most I ever did. But I haven't went to where it just got all these different types of wild animals, including bears, etc., all outdoors as well. But y'all comment down below, have y'all camped in places like that before? But other than that, let me go ahead and get back started.
And instead use the ambient sounds of nature to make his viewers feel like they were right there with him. And while he started uploading videos in August of 2024, he'd actually been solo camping ever since he was just 19 years old. At one point, he even biked over 3,700 miles or over 6,000 kilometers across Sweden all on his own. So he had plenty of experience surviving in the wilderness alone. However, when nature turns unpredictable, even the most prepared adventurers find themselves struggling to survive. Tragically, that's exactly what happened with Storm on the night of October 29th, 2024. He was recording another video, this time traveling through the Jokkmokk region located in the Swedish Lapland, known for its beautiful snowy vistas and frequent aurora sightings. Now, Storm usually parked his car in a nearby town.
Also, I can't even think of the name right now, but y'all know the sightings he was just saying about the aurora. Y'all pretty much let me know, have y'all ever experienced those in real life? Because I know they hard to track down and pretty much see, so you got to really do a lot of research and pretty much somehow keep track with when they supposed to appear. But now let's go ahead and get back to it.
Then ventured into the wilderness on foot with his camping gear. These trips often lasted multiple days, sometimes even a whole week before he made it back. October 29th was the last day of one of these trips. He was making his way back and was only a day's walk away from his car, but it was quickly getting dark and continuing to walk would have been extremely dangerous. So Storm made the decision to set up his tent and sleep for the night. A cold breeze was already sweeping through the region, prompting Storm to mound snow around his tent as a makeshift barrier before going to sleep. Unfortunately, nothing could have prepared him for the extreme weather he was about to encounter. Because just a few hours after setting his tent, the Jokkmokk region got hit by an intense blizzard with winds reaching up to 75 miles per hour or around 120 kilometers per hour. Snow quickly started piling up all around his tent as well. But worst of all, the temperature not only fell below freezing to 21 Fahrenheit or -6 Celsius, the strong wind made it feel as cold as 0 Fahrenheit or -18 Celsius. Maybe he realized the gravity of his situation at this point and wanted to contact his loved ones. Because at around midnight, his friend received a video of him showing his tent getting torn apart by the terrifyingly strong wind, with him stating, "Tonight it's going to get worse, Jesus Christ." He also called his grandmother right after and reassured her of his safety, stating,
And me personally, when it comes to the cold, I just know I can't stand it for too long. So when it get that cold, I know I'm not gonna want to go somewhere where it's just gonna get that cold personally. But me coming in from Illinois, y'all know how those winters be, so that's the most I would be okay with. But even then, I didn't like that winter too much. But other than that, like I said, if y'all from Illinois, y'all know how those winters are. But other than that, man, this is just crazy.
"It's snowing heavily here, but don't worry, I'll survive, you know." Then at 2:36 a.m., the Swedish authorities received an SOS call from Storm. He reported multiple injuries, including a broken nose, and requested immediate help. Unfortunately, the strong wind made it impossible to reach him with the helicopter, and the snow obstructed any rescue efforts on the ground. The blizzard eventually subsided at around 10 a.m., and the rescuers rushed to Storm's last known location. Sadly, by the time they found him, it was already too late. The lower half of his body had turned purple due to the extreme cold, and even the blood on his face from the broken nose was frozen solid. Oddly enough, he was found roughly 1.6 miles or 2.6 kilometers away from his collapsed tent. It's unclear if he was forced to ditch the tent after it collapsed or if he set out before that happened. In either case, he was walking towards his car when he likely fell, broke his nose, and then contacted the authorities. The only silver lining in Storm's tragic end is that at least he died doing what he loved, as he told his father when he first started going on these solo camping trips. "Dad, it took me a long time to know what I wanted, but that's what I want."
That's sad, for real. Prayers and condolences as well to his family and friends.
Hannah Rose Moody was a 31-year-old YouTuber and influencer from Scottsdale, Arizona. And while most of her content on YouTube revolved around her faith as a Christian, her Instagram account posted mostly different content. There she made regular posts about her hiking adventures across the rocky desert terrain of Arizona. Hitting the trails several times a week had become a natural part of her routine ever since she moved to Arizona 6 months earlier.
And being out here in Arizona in the summer, y'all just gotta definitely stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, and pretty much only the good things that you really should be consuming on a daily basis. But especially out here in Arizona, you gotta stay hydrated. That's first and foremost, and definitely stay out of the sun and don't go hiking and stuff when it's super hot, because a lot of people don't understand when it's real hot out here, it could be like 110 and up. And especially if you just out in the open sun, that's even worse. So it's gonna feel even hotter. So going hiking too is not even ideal. They would literally tell you not to even go hiking around certain times of the day, just so stuff like pretty much getting caught in the open heat and being dehydrated and stuff like that, where you gotta be saved, wouldn't have to happen. So with that said, man, being in Arizona, or if y'all live in Arizona, y'all pretty much know what I'm talking about. But other than that, it's crazy when it comes real hot. But let's get back to it.
May 21st was supposed to be no different. She got up early and quickly drove to the Gateway Trailhead located in the McDowell Sonoran Preserve. She parked her car and began the roughly 4.5 mile or 7 kilometer hike across the Loop Trail. It was a moderately challenging trail with a rocky path and noticeable elevation changes, but nothing Hannah hadn't tackled before. She felt fairly confident she could finish the hike in under 3 hours and even made plans to hang out with friends at lunch. Unfortunately, what started as just another ordinary hike ended with a devastating tragedy. Her friends were the first to sense something was wrong when Hannah didn't show up for lunch on time. She didn't send any messages about running late and wasn't picking up her phone either. It wasn't like her to ghost people out of nowhere. So, after waiting at the restaurant for many hours, her friends decided to check on Hannah at her home at around 7:50 p.m., hoping she was simply resting after a tough hike. But when they arrived at her house, her car was missing from the driveway, the lights were off, and the door was locked. Seeing this, they immediately contacted the authorities. They found her car still parked at the trailhead, and it wasn't long before the search party was looking for Hannah across the Gateway Loop Trail with helicopters, drones, and canines. The search was eventually called off at 11:30 p.m. due to the darkness, and resumed the next morning with even more people partaking in the search. This went on till about 12:05 p.m. when a helicopter pilot made the heartbreaking discovery Hannah's friends and family were dreading all night. Just 600 yards off the trail, rescuers discovered the remains of Hannah Moody lying face down on the desert ground. Hannah was dead, and likely had been for several hours. However, there was nothing that could explain her end right away. There were no signs of foul play, no intoxicating substances were found in her system, and she didn't even have any serious head injuries from a fall or stumble. With that, the only explanation investigators were able to come up with was that Hannah lost her life due to extreme heat. You see, the temperature in the Gateway Trail region soared to over 102 Fahrenheit, or about 39 Celsius the day prior when Hannah was hiking. She likely suffered from a heat stroke and wandered off the designated path in confusion before collapsing and eventually passing away, leaving her YouTube and Instagram videos as an unintentional final goodbye to her loved ones.
Definitely prayers and condolences to everybody.
Finn Creaney was a 33-year-old survival expert from the Pitt County area in Scotland. Utilizing the skills he had, Finn operated a survival school in the area called Wildcat Bushcraft, teaching kids general wilderness survival skills as well as bushcraft, which, for those who don't know, include...
Y'all comment down below, have y'all ever did something like this growing up? I haven't. I was mainly a sports type of kid and stuff, so I mainly only did sports stuff or summer camps where we just pretty much went and did activities or went on field trips and stuff, etc., etc. But I never went and did something like this for summer or anything. But y'all comment down below, have y'all did this as a child growing up? But let's get back to it.
Things like foraging, hunting, and building shelter out of natural materials. The business was also accompanied by a YouTube channel of the same name, where Finn shared his knowledge and experience with the world for free. His content was both informative and entertaining, allowing him to slowly build a small but loyal audience. What these viewers didn't realize, however, was that one day, this very channel would also play a role in Finn's tragic end. Things went south on the 25th of March 2022 when Finn was dropped off at the B873 road near Loch Naver in Sutherland. His goal was to head south and hike the 45-mile distance to the small village of Golspie and make a video about the bushcrafting skills he had used along the way. Now, his family knew the journey would take more than a day, so they weren't too concerned when he didn't reach his destination right away. But then 3 days passed and there was no sign of Finn anywhere. Even more concerning was the fact that he didn't make any contact throughout this time, with every call from his family going straight to voicemail. So, on day 3, Finn's father called the police and filed a missing person report, all while holding on to the hope that his son was simply lost, had broken his phone, or was just taking his time on the hike. Sadly, that couldn't have been further from the truth. In reality, Finn had somehow vanished from the area without a trace. And despite the police spending months searching the area surrounding Loch Naver, they couldn't find a single clue about his current whereabouts. Finn was even featured on a British unsolved mystery-style show about missing people called Vanished, but that also led nowhere. However, even after a year of fruitless searching, his father Mark didn't give up and kept looking for his son on his own. And after 19 months of following the same routine, he finally found the first real clue, Finn's backpack, partially hidden in the bushes along the bank of Loch Naver. While Mark never disclosed exactly what was inside, it gave him and the rest of Finn's family reason to believe that Finn had tried to take a shortcut across the loch and ended up drowning by accident. So, after searching for his body for a few more months, they made the tough decision to stop searching and accept the fact that Finn was truly gone. That said, many on the internet find it hard to believe that Finn actually tried to swim across the Naver and lost control in the process. Many asked why a professional survivalist would make such a rookie mistake, especially when he still had a multiple miles-long journey ahead of him, even if he had somehow made it across the Loch Naver. This doubt has given rise to many alternative theories that attempt to explain his mysterious disappearance. These range from fairly out there speculations like Finn doing this to fake his own death and build a new life, to some truly chilling hypotheticals like Finn going into the loch on purpose to end it all. Unfortunately, there just isn't enough evidence to confirm or deny any of these theories. What exactly happened to Finn remains a mystery to this day.
And these cases be real sad when people just ultimately just disappear without a trace and they don't have nothing from, like, as far as actual, like, a body or anything to recover to pretty much say for sure, like, what happened to the person. So a lot of these cases really do be sad, and a lot of them take decades for real to even possibly get solved. So even possibly centuries, because we still got cases that's getting solved to this day just due to new technology. But sometimes it be situations and circumstances where there's nothing, like I said, that they can really find to say for sure this is what happened. So with that said, let's go ahead and get back to the video.
Andrew Cross was a 36-year-old outdoor YouTuber from Grand Junction, Colorado. His channel, Desert Drifter, featured content that could only be described as archaeology mixed with...
You know what's crazy, y'all? I literally just seen this person's channel, I would say almost about a month ago, and I came across and seen in the comments that he had passed away due to a, I don't want to say this for a fact that this is what happened, but I believe it was to a car accident or something, or hiking pretty much situation where he pretty much ultimately obviously didn't make it back. So with that said, it's just crazy that I'm just now seeing something about this again. So with that said, man, it just goes to show you, like, I don't know, it's just wild to see stuff like this pop up and then you don't really hear nothing else from that person ever again because something happened. So it's just wild. But other than that, let's go ahead and get back to the video, and prayers and condolences again to everybody that's involved in the video. But other than that, let's get back to it.
Exploration. He visited and made videos about any place he found interesting, from thousands years old stone walls to abandoned German spy caves from World War II. Beyond just being educational, his videos also boasted top-tier production quality, helping Andrew amass a massive audience in just 14 months on YouTube. Most importantly, his viewers loved his content and eagerly waited for the next upload. But then Andrew suddenly stopped posting after his upload in January 2025. Some assumed he was simply taking a break, while others figured the delay was due to his next video taking longer to produce. It wasn't until the 2nd of February that viewers received the truth from Andrew's wife, Evelyn, and it was far worse than any of his fans could have imagined. Andrew had gotten into a horrible car accident. He was waiting at a stoplight on the intersection between 1st Street and North Avenue in Grand Junction while on his way back from shooting a video about the Bears Ears National Monument in Utah on January 31st, 2025. When, out of nowhere, an out-of-control car rear-ended Andrew at an extremely high speed, resulting in his car flipping over and causing severe brain damage. He was rushed to a nearby hospital almost immediately. Unfortunately, it was already too late. He spent over a month in the ICU and was put on life support. During this time, it became abundantly clear that Andrew sadly had no chance of recovering from his injuries. So, on March 4th at around 10:50 a.m., his family made the difficult decision to let him rest and remove the life support system keeping him on the edge of life. This was devastating news for his hundreds of thousands of fans who were blissfully looking forward to his next upload not too long ago. These fans also banded together and raised over $544,000 for Andrew's family in their time of need. As for the person responsible for the crash, named Ragnar Nicholas Crystal, he was arrested 20 days later on February 21st and was later charged with vehicular homicide and driving under the influence. He's still awaiting conviction at the time of writing.
And definitely, guys, if y'all gonna drink or do anything that's gonna have you under the influence where you really can't focus and do what you're supposed to do the right way, just don't drive at all. Just stay wherever you at and possibly try to even get an Uber or something. Y'all got all these different services, or if you got family and friends, do those options and try to get home a different way or something, but don't try to drive at all when you know it's not right. And with that said though, man, that's the end of the video. And I just want to say, definitely, guys, if you know you can't get home correctly in the right state of mind behind the vehicle, please find another way home. But other than that, make sure you guys smash the like button, comment, and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. And also don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new videos. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and catch you guys later on with more, so stay tuned. Peace.